I'm Morey White.
I'm Tracey White.
I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation Podcast.
Na, 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 na.
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus. All right, here we are, back again.
Here we are.
For the podcast. Hanging in, hanging on.
Still healthy and carrying on.
We've been carrying on. Truth is, we probably should have started the recording 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know, because we've been sitting here chatting this whole time.
Having conversations.
Yeah, well, I mean, which is funny because it is a conversation podcast, right? and we were conversing before turning on the hit and play and record at the same time.
Wait, rewind the tape.
For all you old people out there.
Be kind. Rewind.
Oh, man.
I am so glad we didn't ever have to rewind a DVD.
Right.
Yes.
When you stream, do you have to rewind before going to the next episode?
Oh, man. Welcome to the Compass Conversation Podcast. What we're doing is we're having a conversation. So,
we are.
It may be interesting. Might not be interesting at all. But we're glad you're here with us.
We're interesting.
Yeah.
How was your week?
It was my week. Today is Monday.
Or today.
Man, what a week today's been.
Well, last week.
Oh.
Through the weekend. Until today.
Yeah.
Today.
Not this. How was
last week into the weekend?
Last week.
I'm trying to remember. It's all a blur, man. Once I hit the weekend and we come past a Sunday, the week before begins a little muddy.
It dumps, right?
But everybody's better, everybody's healthier. And
oh, that's good.
That's a big deal in our house, for sure, man. Everybody's working, Even Melissa and Michael both actually going to physical locations to work.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. So they're in the essential workforce. Cool. I found out today that I'm in the essential workforce.
Of course you are. You are essential.
Well, I knew it, but I just didn't know it was officially so. Yeah. That's a big difference between those.
I talked to my oldest, Andy, today. He was driving back from Baytown. In Baytown, yep. He lives in Victoria, and Baytown,
Texas, y'all.
A couple hours away, I guess. So that was a long trip, long commute for him this morning. Yeah. So, but it's good to see that he is also essential and working.
That's a couple of hours.
Well, the cool thing is they're about to move into a house, so he's thinking Friday they'll start moving into their new house that they're just buying. So it's his first house.
3 hours. That's a long drive.
Is it 3 hours?
It's about 3 hours to get through the city to up 59 through the city.
Yeah, I guess if you're going through
to go to.
That's true.
Anyway, so I'm doing good.
Sorry.
I was fine coming into the weekend.
Yes, this was your question.
I wasn't as... Yeah, that's all right. Oops. I wasn't... edit. Anyway, so
we say that, but we never edit. So.
We have time for it. Yeah. Not for this one. We got too many other things.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody. But yeah, so it felt good going into the weekend, and I wasn't quite as ramped up as I was the week before, but I was still excited about what we were talking about. But how are you doing, Morey?
This morning, every work morning, I am still working from home. We meet via Microsoft Teams, which we are not sponsored by, but
but if you would like to,
that's right.
Johnny at compasstimber.com. All right, guys.
But anyway, thank you, Microsoft.
No sponsorships at this point.
But, what we do is we talk about, the last things that we worked on the day prior, or in the case of a Monday, on Friday. And then we talk about what we're going to work on. When it came to my turn, I said, I have no idea what I worked on Friday. Everything has blurred together.
Oh, yeah.
And my boss, fortunately, is... Well, he and I are both very much extroverts.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I like to talk and I like people.
Yep. We were talking about this earlier. This is killing you.
And it's killing him too. He's having the same struggles. I have resorted to walking the dogs to break up my day.
That's good.
That's what I was saying.
This is a benefit.
Yeah.
Well, Tracy earlier, he said, "Is it that bad, brother?"
True story.
Has it come to this? Oh, no.
No, but I'm doing fine. Everybody is healthy. Julie was playing Star Trek Online all day with some guy from Sweden.
Sweden.
Yeah, he teamed up with her to do some missions. So
That's fun.
yeah, so that was pretty fun.
Our connected world.
Yeah.
Our connected world. Yeah,
We do that.
Tracy.
Oh, so I was talking to my oldest son earlier. You already know that story.
Yeah, from somewhere that I've heard this story. I
Yeah,
think.
no, I have nothing to add other than the push-ups thing, right? So, this weekend would have been this last weekend would have been a drill weekend for the reserve unit, right? But we had to cancel that due to everything that's going on. So there was some emails that went around, but it included in that was a challenge that at 8 p.m. We drop and do 39 push-ups because we're 39th Aerial Corps Squadron. Right? We do 39 push-ups, 39 sit-ups, and say we deliver, right? So, because that's our battle cry, right?
Got it? Okay.
Aerial Corps, we deliver.
them and UPS.
Yeah. So apparently that's an every night thing now. I was like, oh, okay, which I don't mind. 39 is not that much. But I'm already on a push-up challenge that I've challenged myself. I do 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I do 150 push-ups.
Good night.
And I'll do that in a set of 50, and then 40, and then 30, 20, and 10.
You the man.
So,
Something's wrong with that boy.
I'm trying to think, could I even do 9? I'm not sure. Right. Of course, I have more weight to push, too.
I don't know.
That's my problem.
22.
I don't. Still, with all of that, I think I'm still packing it on.
I know I am, man. Every time I see the video from Sunday, and he's going to watch the podcast, I'm like, oh, man. The kettle has come back. It's like, whoa. I've been saying this for months and months, but I mean, it's really... But I will say this. Leon and I have been trying to walk every day.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So today, as we're out walking, we're seeing a lot of people working in their yards. Like, oh, this is cool. Hardly anybody wearing masks. But I did see some people wearing masks as they're running. But we went past this one house, and a guy was sitting out in the driveway, and the driveway had chalk letters that had been kind of really nicely drawn out, really big letters that said, "Don't worry, God's got this."
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? Yeah.
All right, man. And then I started thinking, what a great idea.
Yeah.
I could put compassdenver.com on my sidewalk. Messages to my neighbors.
Yeah.
Praying for you. Hope you're well. I mean, chalk on the sidewalks. Not a bad idea.
No, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
I've seen that
cool.
here and there. I haven't seen that message, but yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, God's got
Encouraging.
God's got this. He always does.
I was going to say, I was talking to Al, our friend Al Barrera, today on the phone, and he was asking, how is everybody in your church? Is everybody well? And I had to pause. I went, I think the only people who've been sick have been me. I found, I was like, I think everybody's pretty much well. I mean, aside from, the stuff that you've been dealing with, like the seasonal things, the coughing, but nobody with the virus, nothing like that I'm aware of anyway at this point.
Unless it's so asymptomatic that we don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Which is always a
but like you said, the 95% sure that it feels like last year, the seasonal allergy
that was
thing,
for sure with me.
And things are blooming.
This happens to me every year.
Yeah.
Is it the coronavirus?
No. What you need is
what everybody
local
thinks.
honey.
Local honey.
Ooh, that reminds me. I
got
got
to somebody I could get that from.
Well, the bees are working. I need to set up my honey super on the hive.
Dude,
so
I'll
we can
pay you
start
for
getting
it this time. It doesn't have to be a gift to your pastor.
No.
That was awesome.
It doesn't have to be a gift to your pastor.
To your spiritual leader.
I'll call it my weekly contribution.
There you go. Yeah.
You could tithe in honey.
Tithe in honey. Yeah, there we
You're
go.
offering.
Who's cool with that?
That is great.
Full of love.
Right.
Oh boy. Well, anywho, so what else, guys? Yesterday we were online.
Streamed yesterday.
Changed it up a little bit. Still haven't got it figured out.
I have to say that Melissa was on it. She had her comedian hat on.
She did.
And she's
feeling better, man.
Yeah, she is. That is great.
Yeah, she's making fun of lines I'm saying, and
she did. It was pretty funny.
But I said some pretty goofy things. It's like if you have a little too much coffee and start tripping up or talking a little too fast.
Yeah.
I've learned to take a breath, and then I have to mentally make myself slow down a little bit. But I was tripping over myself a few times.
Oh, that's okay.
The thing about her making the comedic remarks and that sort of thing, it actually helps it stick in your head.
Yeah.
It does, because you remember it because it was funny.
That's true. It does make an impact. It's like an impact statement.
That's true.
Exactly.
My thing that...
It was fun. And that is the part, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier, that we have been intentionally, and again, I say we, but I mean, this is my thinking on it, intentionally making it so that all that we're doing in our gathering is live and interactive.
Yes.
So it's not just, even though I'm doing a lot of talking, obviously, and then right now I'm doing a lot of singing and talking.
Yeah.
Oh man, the singing
guitar.
this Sunday. You were on it. You really wrubbed some soul into that.
You got on up there too.
Kathy and I were sitting there going, that sounds good.
Well, let me tell you. I can tell you that the drums and the bass are there every Sunday.
Oh yes,
I guarantee you. Tracy's playing on something, and I can tell you that I'm usually singing the bass line.
See, and I can hear it in my head. It's like, man, it would be so great. Even if it was just you had the cajon, if you were just playing along, and if you had an acoustic bass.
Oh man, I gotta get one.
That'd be nice. Stars. That guy from I just went blank. What's the song? Mad World. Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears, yes.
The guy, not the one that had the wild hair, but the other guy, if you guys know. Anyway, it's him and his...
Wasn't on my favorites list.
That's all right. Him and his daughter did an acoustic version of that song online.
Yeah.
It was really good. I mean, she was really talented. She was but it was
that's awesome.
But he had an acoustic bass, and I thought of you.
Oh,
so cool.
I need one now.
Yep.
It's gonna happen. They're not cheap though.
No.
It is good.
That's all right.
It's going to happen. We're going to be back together again, you know.
Yes.
We're going to keep meeting online. We're going to get together in small face-to-faces and do what we can to help each other through this time. Because it's a weird time, for sure.
Yeah, it is.
But we're together in this thing, man. We're going to help each other, pray for each other. You know, whatever you need, you can always contact me. We can get together and help each other and other people in our church. And, you know, church is made for times such as this.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not the building, it's the people.
That's exactly right.
So that's what was I used to do? The old
Here's the church. Here's the steeple. Open the door and see all the people.
Yeah, what was the quote I did the other? It was probably a year or so ago. I'm trying to remember now. Here's the church. No need for a steeple.
Oh.
Open the doors. I can't remember what it was. Dadgummit. I gotta look it up now.
Something that rhymes with steeple.
Don't worry about
the door.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the doors.
People.
It's Monday.
Because the church is the people.
I like that.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's good.
I gotta find it.
That's good.
I have it on Instagram, I think.
That's funny.
On the Compass.
It'll work.
But anyway, yeah, it was good to be online. And it's good to be live, and it's good to be interactive.
Yeah.
So at least that's how we're doing it for now. Even with the delay for some of you guys.
Yeah.
Because I like, it makes it more like our base camp gathering.
Right.
Because in a base camp gathering, you know, I'll say something, Leona will sneeze or whatever, like she did Sunday.
Everybody says bless you.
Yeah,
of course,
right.
It's 30 seconds later.
Right.
But, you know.
Yeah, and then there'll be some pausing, interacting, and then laughing at something somebody says.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of a good picture of what our church is like. And, you know, even as we are reaching more and more and more and more people, and we're back together in bigger groups, we still want to keep that kind of vibe going on. And so there'll still be times where it's just going to be, all right, everybody sit down. It's time to hear the message. Just kind of tune in because I'm gonna preach at you for a minute. Yeah. But most of the time, it needs to have that kind of, we're family. We're learning together. I'm not the guru who's, come down from the mountain to deliver some stone tablets to everybody. We're going through this thing together.
I give you the 15 commandments. Okay. Oh. Well, what I really miss is singing as a group.
Yes, I do too.
Normally I'm playing something, so I don't sing too much, but I love hearing, everybody sing.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and then we're going to get to do that a little bit more than we have. This is the first time in weeks that we're even having a worship team rehearsal.
Yeah. So we should probably make it clear, I think, and I can't change it, that our families are well.
Yes.
Yes.
Our families have been pretty much self-quarantined for, about 4 weeks now?
Almost a month.
I know Melissa's been tested because of a potential contact with somebody, but that's free and clear.
Whatever she had that was causing her to not feel well is pretty much all gone now.
So we have, in Air Force, we call it operational risk management, right? So we have managed our risks. We have weighed the risk. We don't think that there is a high risk of any sickness within our families because of how we've been isolating ourselves. So I think it's important to make that clear.
Our families do make up the praise team. So
that's right.
That's
exactly. That's right.
So.
And again, I don't want us to be that church that is communicating to a lost world that we're doofuses. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, well, if God, wants us to get sick. I've seen some churches just obnoxiously saying we're going to go ahead and get all together, and I just think it's not wise on so many levels.
And I've seen the opposite of that. I've seen some friends of mine that are not Christ followers, like on Facebook, that are really hammering on those churches that still gather.
That's what I mean.
And I get that. But I don't want that to be thought of as the norm. I think pretty much everybody is operating under the parameters that were given for our own personal safety. And,
absolutely.
And I just kind of wanted to make that clear because
it is important.
If people do tune in and they see, several of us together doing our praise team, that we have taken our done our due diligence with our social distancing, and that we've managed our risk very well.
Because we're not inviting everybody to join us live.
No.
There will be about 7 of us, I guess. Is that right? If it's just the team, about 7 of us in the room. 7. So, I know that the boundaries have come down even more in the state from even not just 10, but even in groups of any kind. But still, we'll be, we'll be spaced out and we'll be wise about it. Yeah. But it gives us a chance to celebrate the resurrection in a little bit more, in a broader, grander type of celebration. Yeah. Because we'll be loud.
I like that. Yes. And you also mentioned communion, and if you need help, by the way, if somebody calls and you need help taking a communion kit to somebody, let me know. I'm happy to help. I bet you Morey is too. But bring them here too on Sunday because we need to take communion on Sunday. I think it'd be great.
Too. Well, we're definitely doing...
we're doing that Wednesday?
Wednesday.
We're doing that Wednesday?
That's correct.
I meant Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday.
Oh, you should have brought my kit tonight then.
Oh, sorry.
Kathy says, we're going to get some grape juice and put it in wine glasses.
See, I've already told you guys.
Julie said
if I'm looking on Zoom and you guys are doing this,
Julie said shot glasses.
Shot glasses.
Those would work, actually.
Oh, they would. I mean, we grew up taking shots of grape juice, right?
That's right. Little.
I did go to a Catholic church once and took communion there, and it was wine.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa! I didn't.
I'm glad you didn't spit it out.
I know.
That would have been truly embarrassing.
Right at the What?
It took me by surprise. I didn't expect
it's like it's not the end of the world or anything.
Well, I know.
But at the same time,
I just didn't know because growing up, it was always grape juice,
Well, there's a reason for that kind of gathering, and I know that this is not a hard and fast thing at all, but the reason that we don't in our bigger groups, everything from children to former alcoholics.
Yes.
It's just not a good, I don't know. It's God bless you however you do it.
Yeah,
the point of it is to remember the body and the blood of Jesus.
That's right.
Offered for us. Right. And we've talked about our Lord's Supper stuff, and the symbolism is very meaningful to be kind of specific with what kinds of things you're using. But when all of those things aren't there, you can make some concessions, right? Mm-hmm. You want to just remember, but anyway, you were going to say something, Morey?
Yeah, it was smart. You went real serious, and I probably shouldn't.
No, go ahead.
I'm glad I shut you down.
No. Really,
it says fruit of the vine. Can we use tomato juice? Sorry.
It is a fruit, right?
Well, what I said...
And it grows on a vine.
What I said Sunday is we want to shoot for some grape juice.
I have grape juice.
You can, and then some kind of unleavened bread, but again, it's
Tortillas.
Not absolute. Tortilla would work.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah,
That's a really good tortilla.
A cracker of some kind. Uh-huh. Just something that can be represented. But if you don't have a chance to go do that, between now and Wednesday afternoon, no later than Wednesday afternoon, I can
so
bring
tomorrow.
you something. What's today? Today's Monday.
Today's Monday. So you got tomorrow and maybe Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning. Get out to the store and get something to be a part of that. But this, it's our church gathering. It's online. It'll be via Zoom. If you want to join us and you're not normally a part of our church, you're certainly welcome to. But you'll need to communicate with me. So send me an email. I can give you the invite code or something like that.
Johnny at compassdenver.com.
Johnny at compassdenver.com. But yeah, so all that to say, we're going to be doing communion together in our weekly check-in, which again is something past the crisis we'll probably continue to do on some level. It might look a little different, but we'll do some version of that, I'm sure.
I like it.
Yeah, it's just good to keep...
I missed it last week, sorry.
No, that's
okay. I missed it the week before, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's like this podcast. It's like you guys are either
we're here.
But we're gonna do the Lord's Supper together, and then Thursday night we're gonna have our worship team practice, and we're gonna figure out a little bit of some of the logistics for the stream. So the stream will be different than it will be the following week, I'm hoping it'll be fantastic, but. It's just one of many churches that'll be doing stuff on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
And it just gives us a chance to use the gifts and the abilities that God has given the people in our church.
Right.
To actually hear these guys and to pull out the bass and the guitar and all that stuff. And we'll just truly celebrate. And then you guys, I guess, will sit in some chairs.
Sure.
Yeah, well,
spaced.
And I'll have a little bit more feedback from talking. And somebody will need to be, monitoring comments, and like we would normally do on Sunday.
We'll do the camera setup too.
Oh, good, yeah.
So we'll keep our setup in here. And,
all right.
It'll be nice. We won't run through a board or anything for sound. We'll just do live room sound with some decent mics.
I was going to say, this is a good... If there was ever a room to be able to do that in.
It's what it's made for, right?
It is made.
Right.
That's why we all three sound the same, although the microphone is up over here.
Yeah.
Kind
of purpose.
I do a little magic on that, but... It's not always quite like that.
Well, if we were all speaking at the same volume...
Do a little levelating.
Yeah.
You're welcome, guys. But anyway, We don't want to see how the sausage is made. So anyhow,
That's just.
Oh my goodness! Not COVID.
Yeah, no COVID, just coughing. Mm-hmm. I have coughing 19
Coughing
with my coffee. Anyhow, so anything about, we'll just shift gears now. This is a good week, though. This is a good week. It's a great thing to be considering, a Holy Week, Passion Week, and then just getting really excited about celebrating the resurrection, the hope we have in Jesus. Great reminder, that God has got it under control, right? He literally conquered death.
Yes.
And that is a huge fear in our nation and world right now, is the uncertainty of death. And man, what a hopeful message we have. It's not just about Jesus dying. It's Jesus dying and taking our sin penalty and making it possible for us to have life. And then he conquered death, right? It's like boom, boom, like a 1-2.
Right.
So anyway.
Double tap.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun, I hope. So I don't know what the mix will be like, but it will be.
It's going to be wonderful.
It's going to be fun, man.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to it.
I think we'll do all right.
Yeah, even if it gets kind of weird. Even if the sound starts, not registering right, it's still going to be good.
It'll be fine. I have faith.
I do too, man. And so anyway, busy week. Now, all that said, Sunday. This past Sunday. How much time do we have left?
We're at 25 minutes.
In 3 minutes or less. No.
We got in. We're still in the fruits.
I finished it up.
Finished the fruits. Yes.
Thank you.
Finished the fruits.
We did
I am fruit.
Yeah, I am fruit. Yeah, we did. I just thought, you know what? If this part, because this is just one part of a multi-question thing we've been doing since January.
Yeah.
And it's April.
Yeah.
I just thought next week is Easter Sunday, so we're not doing Fruit of the Spirit Sunday.
Right.
And so we'd be in yet another week. Now, I could have taken a Sunday on each one of those.
Sure. Especially like self-control.
I know. But I thought back and realized, we had just not too long ago spent a lot of time on temptation.
We did.
And so they're not the same thing, obviously, and I'm going to touch on this self-control thing again, but I really wanted to, particularly out of that Galatians 5 passage, to realize it's just one of the 9, and that if we get the first part right, the self-control comes in. So that spirit control begins to help and take care of this self-control. So,
and it particularly addresses a lot of the sin nature that was mentioned before.
Well, sure. Yeah.
It was specific also to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Earlier in the...
So, and also, whenever I think about self-control, I'm not just thinking about mitigating temptation.
Right.
I'm thinking about it on the positive side, to continue to do tools at our hand to stay in the Word.
Yeah.
Like the app that we're using to do our weekly, what do they call plans?
Yeah, Bible reading plan.
Yeah. So it's something that it's a tool that I'm using personally to ensure that I get myself in
the Bible every day.
So you're saying self-control is easier when you got your armor on?
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not saying it's all about having...
It was not just the point. It was the...
But I do want to make it clear that it's not... I'm not just saying that the only reason I'm in the Bible is because...
Right.
It's a tool, a small part of the bigger equation that helps in our growth.
Well, I mean, if you say that you value something as important, but you do nothing in your life to make you successful in that thing you say that is important, then the truth is it's not that important.
Yeah.
Right? So when you build in discipline and tools and things to help you do what in your heart you should do, that's a very good thing to do. That's actually an expression of faith that God, I believe this, but I'm not just going to sit here and wait for me to suddenly have the urge to read the Bible.
Yeah.
I'm going to build it into my week, and I'm going to make myself do what I know is right. So,
Well, I'm inherently lazy, so having things that go, hey, you're supposed to be doing something right now.
Well, it's the transformative thing. I mean, sure. I honestly believe, because, even right now we're just doing sort of a week at a time, a plan at a time. Last summer we did a whole book together. But what's great about this is that we are, those who are participating in it, you go through it and then you can say something if you want to interact. But it's like a reminder, oh yeah, so Tracey read this today. Oh, well, I need to read this today too. And and it's only been a couple of verses a day in this particular one.
Yeah, it's real short.
But it gets you in there every day. And that's what we're working on together. So for example,
8 of us doing it together. So
8 right now.
Is there 8?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, good. So I'll share with everybody Wednesday, the next one we're doing. But here's the catch, is that it's a 3-day. It's taking us into Easter. So it's like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And if you even missed a day, you can do it that morning.
Yeah.
And then you'll kind of have a 2-day free, read whatever you want in Scripture. And then we'll do another one starting the next Wednesday. I like that we're doing that in that checkpoint, that check-in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So rather than just kind of throwing it out to the whole wide world. But.
Yeah.
Another thing that stuck out to me was when you talked about gentleness.
Yes.
And what that is. I kind of, for me, I had to think about, God's gentleness. And it's kind of like, this is a very small comparison, but, believe it or not, my wife loves me because, well, I'm a man, right? And I'm not a little guy. And I'm not weak, right? But when I touch her, there is it's with love, right? So the gentleness is the strength under control with love, And I think about God, all powerful, all knowing, everything that you can imagine.
Yeah.
Yet he reaches out to us and touches us with his love and with that gentleness. And it just, to me, I had to break it down into some little bitty thing that I could, put my little pea brain around. But it's a lot that same kind of gentleness.
Yeah, and expressed through love, too. That's really good.
Expressed through love,
because that's, I think what I quoted.
It's not weakness.
It's not weakness.
Not weakness, yes.
Right. Jesus saying, come to me, all you who are heavy laden, burdened, I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon me. Take my
yoke upon you.
My yoke upon you.
Because it's easy.
And learn of me. Right? It's easy and light, but he says, because I am humble and lowly of heart. So that something I've read that passage a gazillion times, but in the context of gentleness, it's like, oh, wait a minute. You're saying you are so strong, you are so powerful, you can take my heaviest burden. So you're already saying, I'm strong, I can handle it. In fact, give it to me.
Yeah.
So all the strength is there, but then he says, I am humble and lowly of heart.
Right.
So in the same context, it's like that's a beautiful picture of gentleness.
I think you're right.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, we look more like, with all of the fruit of the Spirit as they're displayed in our life, we look more and more like the one we're following. So that's what's cool about it.
Yeah.
So
love it.
Yeah, good insights, man.
Yeah, that's something that stuck in my head. That image.
Cool.
And I talked to Julie about it, and I imagine you guys, have that same. You can imagine that.
Yeah.
That same thing because of the love that you have. And, he loved us so much. Yeah. God loved us so much that he gave his only son.
That's true.
That's right.
So that whoever would believe in him could have eternal life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you can find that where?
John 3:16.
Oh, man, I stole your thunder.
Paraphrase it.
John 3:16.
Had to get it in.
You got it.
It was good. It was good.
I was wondering when it was coming. I just didn't know.
You said it Sunday.
I did say it. I say it almost every Sunday.
Yeah. It's good. It's really huge. It's relevant.
What else, guys? So we're getting to the end here, probably, huh?
Yeah, probably. Tape's going to run out.
We're recording this on a reel-to-reel.
Oh, yeah.
From 1972.
On a 2-inch tape. Oh, goodness.
My dad had Chicago's third album on
reel-to-reel? Oh, my gosh. But it sounded...
I remember that reel-to-reel.
I do, too. Yeah, he'd set that thing up, and he had these ginormous speakers. And, he'd turn them sideways and lay right down in below them. This was before the super awesome headphones, studio reference headphones. So.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a jazz guy.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Dig that. Well, all right, guys. I think we're pretty much done. You guys have anything else you want to add tonight? I did enjoy Sunday. Enjoyed being with you guys online, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in person.
It's the next best thing to be in there.
That's right. And like I said, we are... wow. Speaking of an old reference. So we're going to be communicating all this Sunday by telephone on the party line.
By fax machine.
Fax us fax you your... Faxes are still being used. Fax in your prayer request, and we will fax you a copy of the worship.
Morse code in your prayer request. Morse code.
This means that the podcast is about over.
Yes.
So we're near the end. I did want to say this again, just to be clear, because you made me think of this, that with during the current crisis, we are doing everything we can to stay within all the guidelines.
Yes, absolutely.
Use wisdom. We care about people. We don't want anybody getting sick. We don't want to be foolish or reckless, about how we're doing ministry. And I know that there's even some businesses out there who are not using their brains because they're thinking about the bottom line, but it's going to hurt them in the end. That's all I'll say about that. Anyhow, they're doofuses. Anyhow, that said, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I shouldn't say that. They're making us look bad. Some quasi-Christian-y sort of owned businesses are being kind of obnoxiously stupid right now.
Yes,
so
I would agree. What I would say. They're being less than wise.
I agree.
How's that?
Yep. So to avoid any lawsuits, we won't say who it is.
I think you're exactly right. God, he can take care of anything.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want us to be stupid.
Right.
And so or reckless.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's given all of us an opportunity to reevaluate our lives. Yes. All the things that so many of us have been, a lot of people have been very secure, never really thought too much about their life and what's important in life and what's most valuable. They have turned their hearts and their attention to all kinds of things that have now been shut down.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think he didn't cause this to happen, but he will certainly use it to draw us back to himself.
He uses all things for his good. Right?
Absolutely.
There we go.
It's a good thing.
Good thought.
That's biblical.
So anyway.
Thank you, brother.
All that to say, that was my final little commentary.
Okay.
I think the coffee all finally kicked in.
Right on.
All right, man. Well, any final words then? I guess that's it. Before you say it, we're going to meet this Sunday online on Facebook. You can go to our website, compassdenver.com, and we would love to have you as our guest. You can kick the tires. You can just kind of watch, sit back and see what's going on. But join us on our Facebook Live feed. And if you're not there with us live, although we'd love for you to, the video replay is always available on our website. So this Sunday is Easter. It's going to be awesome. We'd really love for you to join us because we'll be broadcasting, Lord willing, straight from this room.
That's right.
All right, guys. I think that's all we have now. So final words. Trace.
Love you guys. Love all y'all. Stay safe.
Peace.
Grace and peace to you. That's all we've got tonight. We are out.
Fade the ball.
All right.